We're going to do some example problems for coordinates. So our first question asks, is x in the span of v1, v2? With x, and what are its coordinates in terms of the basis? Beta equals v1 and v2, also known as x in v1. And they tell us that x equals 3, negative 4, v1 equals 0, 1, and v2 equals 1, 0. So, if x is in the span of v1 and v2, then there must exist constants c1 and c2 such that x equals c1 v1 plus c2 v2. This is just saying that x is a linear combination of v1 and v2. So we just put in x, v1 and v2, and this ends up just being a system of equations. The system being pretty simple. 3, negative 4 equals c1, c2. So this tells us that c1 equals negative 4 and c2 equals 3. So answer to the first question is yes, because we can find those constants. And now we're asked what are the coordinates in terms of the basis formed by those two vectors. And the coordinates are just these constants. So x in this basis is negative 4, 3. Okay, our second example has asks the same question. So this time we have x equals 2, 3, 4. v1 equals 1, 1, 0. And v2 equals 2, 0, 1. So again, we try the same thing, and x be expressed as c1 v1 plus c2 v2. And this time our system's a little more complicated. 2, 3, 4 equals c1 times 1, 1, 0 plus c2 times 2, 0, 1. And now we just have to solve the system. And the way we do that is just we put this into the augmented form. So flipping these two around, we get 1, 2, 1, 0, 0, 1, and 2, 3, 4. And we go about reducing this. So sorry, I'm going to do R2 times negative 1, which gives us 1, 2, 2, 0, 1, negative 1, 0, 1, 4. Then subtract R3 from R2. And then we subtract R1 by 2, R2. So this tells us that v1 equals 4, v2 equals negative 1, but this also tells us that 0 equals 5. So So this tells us that this is an inconsistent system and that there is no solution. C1 equals 4, C2 equals 5 will not work. And we can just verify that. We have 4 times 1, 1, 0, and negative 1 times 2, 0, 1. We get 4, 4, 0, minus 2, 0, 1, which is 2, 2, 4, 1, which is not what we're trying to find. So there are no coordinates for x in terms of v1 and v2.